So now in this problem, we're asked to graph an ellipse by translation. So essentially what that means is let's find if it were centered at the origin, what it looks like, and then let's move it based on the fact that the center moves. All of the other points are going to move in the same way that the center does. So let's first off, let's look at our A and B. So again, remember we're looking at the form x minus h squared over a squared plus y minus k squared over b squared equals 1. So the a and b are going to be the same regardless of whether it's centered at the origin or somewhere else. In this case, we can say that we know the center is at hk. So in this case, that's going to be 5, negative 4, because we're subtracting 5 from x, and we're subtracting negative 4 from y. Y plus 4 is the same thing as y minus negative 4. So we can say that the center is at 5, negative 4. And then everything will come from there. So let's just look at if we're centered at the origin. We know a squared equals 9. So a equals 3. So if we're starting, and I'll go ahead and let's change colors for where we're translating from. So let's say we're centered at 0, 0. A is 3. So we know we're going, and that's under x. So we know we're going to go 3 in each direction from the center on the x-axis. So that's going to give us the points -3, 0, and 3, 0. So now where is our center in comparison to those? Our center is at 5, negative 4 compared to 0, 0. So this is with 0, 0. We're at -3, 0 and 3, 0. So with our current ellipse, we're going 5 in the x direction and -4 in the y direction. So -3 plus 5 is going to be 2. 0 minus 4 is going to be -4. 3 plus 5 is going to be 8. And 0 minus 4 again is -4. So we know we're going to have a point at 2, -4. And we're going to have a point at 8, -4. Now what about our other axis? So from 0, 0, we know that for both of these, b squared equals 4, so b equals 2. So from 0, 0, from the center at the origin, we would go up 2 and down 2, which means those vertices are going to be at 0, -2, and 0, 2. So here's what the ellipse would look like if it were centered at the origin. And this is what we're translating. Now for our ellipse that's centered at 5, -4, again, we're going plus 5 in the x direction, so 5, and -4 in the y direction, so -2 minus 4 is -6. And then with 0, 2, 0 is still the same, so we're 5, and then 2 minus 4 is going to be -2. So we're at the points 5, -6, and 5, negative 2. And then there is our translated ellipse. We took our ellipse where a squared is 9 and b squared is 4, centered at the origin, and we moved it 5 to the right and 4 down in order to get the graph of x minus 5 squared over 9 plus y plus 4 squared, or over 4 equals 1. So essentially, again, what we did was we translated x squared over 9 plus y squared over 4 equals 1. We translated that 5 right and 4 down. And that's because our origin was originally at 0, 0. Or our center was originally at the origin, 0, 0. But then our center of the given equation is at 5, negative 4. So essentially we translated the vertices 5 units to the right and 4 units down, and that translates the entire ellipse from the ellipse with the same A and B that are centered at the origin.